YouTube. What's happening with it? Like I said, you ain't gotta subscribe, but go check them stories out. Give me a like, thumbs up. Let me know I'm kicking G shit. And I'm open for topics. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finna slang this story right here. This like end of 92 maybe April 17th. And you know what I'm saying? I think it was like Mom's birthday, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I always want to say it's like Mom's birthday and shit. But it's like April 17th. The day is jazzy and cool. You know, at this particular time, the block is like we on eucalyptus at this time, homie. We on eucalyptus hanging out and shit. And we at war with the Rolling 60s. Inglewood and HPs is at war with Rolling 60s at this time, homie. You know, so it's like it's cracking. It's gunfire, gun battles. You know, it's all this shit is happening, homie. You know what I'm saying? At this particular time in the hood, homie. It's war season and shit. Moving into summer. And I remember that day I had hit the hood early, hung out, and you know, it be one of them days you function early and shit. And I said, man, I'm going back in, you know, hang out with moms and shit, kick it with moms and shit. So I cut back to the house and shit from the hood, from Roger Park and shit. Nigga was on eucalyptus, hit back to the park, fucked around at the park, and then I fade back to the pad. At that time, I'm staying in Queen Street hood, Queen Street Blood hood at that time. You know what I'm saying? They like right across the tracks from us and shit, our allies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the same hood with different names and shit. And I fall back over there on that side and shit. Hit a couple homies up and shit. Big Solo them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Bacardi them. You know what I'm saying? No Good them. I hit a couple homies up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit, blood, I'm in the house with it. So I go in the house and shit. I'm lounging and shit. Up there smoking herb with moms and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we running it up. So the day moving in, and it's kind of like damn near. I want to say getting dark damn near. You know what I'm saying? It's going in and getting dark almost and shit. So we up there, we smoking stress weed, we eating, and we looking at moms like them black and white scary movies and shit. So we off Night of the Living Dead, different little movies and shit, and we lounging. So as we kicking it and shit, back then it really wasn't no cell phones. Like niggas wasn't really running around with cell phones and shit. So if a motherfucker wanted you, homie wanted to holler at you or something, and he was a solid homie, he can come to the pad, he can knock on the door and get up in the pad and shit. Moms or a family member or let a nigga in or call whoever you want and come to the door. So at this particular time, my road dog, LSD, he come to the door. Now remind you, I didn't left the turf early. I didn't fell back to the house, lounging, kicking it, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And life still goes on in the turf. You know, even though a nigga not there, shit still moving on. So as shit moving on, shit then went straight haywire on the streets. You know what I'm saying? From what I come to find out, nigga, that it was major war in the motherfucking streets. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So anyway, the homie come knock on my door, and I think mom's like LSD at the door. So I go to the door and shit, step outside the door, and kind of like close the door so moms and everybody won't be in the nigga conversation. So we on the stairway and shit. So I'm like, blood was bracket. That's how we talking back then and shit. That was the language. Everything kind of like what it be. I'm like, blood was bracket. So he like, blood. I'm like, what's happening? He like, blood. Shit been way crazy, homie. I'm like, run it down. And he like, blood. Homies was on the shaw, all kind of shit popping. They talking about gunfire was just going down and shit rapidly. The homie Big Taco get shot. And he's saying it's some niggas from Rolling 60s that done got shot. These niggas didn't had a major motherfucking street battle, I guess. So, so he briefly filling me in. He like, man, let me get your thing. You know what I'm saying? He came to borrow my thing, run it down to me and to borrow my thing. But at them times, you know what I'm saying, things was kind of short. I had already had one that was in the street, you know what I'm saying, that got gone, you know what I'm saying. So this one, a nigga was like, nigga, I'm holding on to this motherfucker. Any real nigga know back in the day, a nigga really wasn't trying to let a heat go. A nigga damn near go with his heat, like, nigga, fuck it, I'll go. You know what I'm saying? Niggas want to use it, you be like, nigga, hold on, I'll go. So that's what wound up happening. He like the homie up there shot, the Rolling 60s up there deep. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? We need a heat up at that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck that blood. I'll go, homie. So, excuse me. So I go back in the pad. I tell Mom, I'm like, Mom, Taco done got shot. It's going down out here. I'm going to go up there and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't tell her I'm going to go up there with the heat and shit. But I tell her I'm going to go up there. So she like, you sure you want to go up there? Man, you know, she rapping like a mother. Like, you sure you want to go up there? That shit dangerous and shit like that. And I'm like, nah, it's cool. Woo, woo. So, bam, I grabbed the heat. And that day, you know what I'm saying, I happened to have on some black Reeboks. Black and white Reeboks. Some green Jabot jeans. They had them green Jabot jeans. And I had like a black t-shirt. And I had the curl. You know what I'm saying? I had like 2 long ponytails hanging like this and shit. And so I throw the strap in my back pocket and shit. Bam. Throw the strap in my back pocket and jump in the car with the homie LSD. And at that time we was hanging with a nigga named KK from Blackstone and shit. I don't know how solidified he was, but he was, right, in his turf. But he was claiming Blackstone was hanging out with us and shit. So we jump in KK car and shit, and we push up there to Daniel Freeman Hospital and shit. This when Daniel Freeman was popping. So when we push up there, to the parking lot, it's a gang of one times and shit in the parking lot. Cause you got the homie running it down to me. You got 2 gangs in there shot. You got blood shot in that motherfucker. And you got Crip shot in that motherfucker, homie. So it's totally going down. So when we pulling up, KK like blood, police in that motherfucker thick. So he parked on the street. KK parked on the street, homie. And we bail in. So KK like blood, leave the strap in the car since one time thick. We don't know what might happen. Let's leave the strap in the car. So we like, fuck it. We leave the strap in the car and shit. And we push up there. Cause one time was all thick in the parking lot. Asking niggas where they going, who they coming to visit, what's going on and shit. So doing a little questioning of they little bullshit, we wind up getting into the hospital, into Daniel Freeman. So when I bail up in here, the homies been already, that's why they came and got me, because these niggas up in here thick as a motherfucker. So when we get up in that motherfucking shit, niggas up in it, we like talking and shit, like, yeah, blood, like, damn, shit cracking. And I'm seeing them niggas from 60s out in there. I remember it was a nigga with a white slingshot on, dark skin nigga with a fro. So he up in there, talking shit, rapping, going crazy, talking shit and shit. You know what I'm saying? Crippin' and cousin real vicious than a motherfucker. So, doing this rapping and all that shit, he talking to, they trying to find out what's up with their homeboy. I don't know if it's sounding good, looking good, or what the thing is. So it wind up going into them niggas talking about putting in work, it's on, nigga, this and that and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them niggas and shit. Now remind you, homie, we in the hospital with these niggas, homie. Bloods and Crips, we in the hospital with these niggas. 2 niggas shot in the back, nigga. Big Taco in the back with a gunshot wound, and then nigga from 60s in the back with a gunshot wound. So we in there. So the dark skinned nigga, he woofing. He like, I guess niggas, they talking about putting, he like, nigga, we ain't gotta go nowhere, nigga. Some of them niggas in here right now, nigga, we ain't gotta go nowhere. So during this time of all this shit, we in here talking, nigga, we politicking on our side. They kind of like politicking in that motherfucker, right? So LSD, the homie tapped me. He like, man, fuck that. Go get that heat. So, remind you, a nigga not even knowing what's going on outside because we done been in the inside. So one time then kind of started, they filter it out. They gone. They didn't filter it out. So the homie like, go get that heat. So now I go out of Daniel Freeman door instead of me keeping my motherfucking mouth closed, going straight to some motherfucking heat, walking out the door. I see it's a nigga at the door. He's from 60s. He talking to a broad. So like I said, instead of me walking out the door, keeping my mouth closed, going straight to get some iron, I call myself banging on this nigga. So as I'm belling out, I'm on one, I bell out. I look at the nigga. I look at the nigga up and down. The nigga blued up. So I'm like, what's happening, blood? And the nigga like, what you say? I'm like, what's happening, blood? And so I remember the nigga just looked back at me. And I remember seeing the nigga lift up his shirt. Nigga take out the thing and get the busting. Bow, 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 bow. The nigga hit me. The nigga hit me, homie. Blow a motherfucking hole in my motherfucking thigh and hip. So I hit the motherfucking ground, but I ain't really knowing how it's really, like, how bad this shit is, cause the nigga blow me back, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, I see the nigga flee and shit. So the homies in the inside, after the busing stopped, my homeboy LSD, he kind of like run right, cause I'm right in front of the door, homie. Soon as you walk out the Daniel Freeman door, this nigga was leaning against the little rail right there. So as soon as I step out, homie, 3-4 feet, look at this nigga, I get bust on. So I'm right by the door. So after the busing, my homeboy LSD, he stick his hand out the motherfucking doors and grab me and drag me in and shit. So he like, hey, Half, you good, homie? How bad you hit and shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't really knowing, homie. I ain't really knowing. So bam, they don't treat a motherfucker because we right inside the motherfucking hospital, homie. So they scared as a motherfucker. They locked the back down and everything. So one time finally come after probably about 30 minutes or some shit, 20, 30 minutes it seemed like it's something. They finally come, they squeeze a nigga in the back. So I'm in the back. I'm like, I'm hurt. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm hollering and shit. And so I remember the homeboy like, nah, yeah, I'm hollering. I'm like, blood. So Taco back there. He not knowing it's me though. He like, hey homie, who is that? I'm like, blood. It's big pint, big GF. Blood like, damn, blood you hit? I'm like, yeah, blood, they done served me, homie. He like, oh fuck, niggas going down up at this motherfucker. So he on one. He trying to get to me because I'm his young homeboy. He trying to get to me and check on me and shit. So it's total chaos back there, homie. So the police finally wind up, I guess, gaining control of the situation and shit that was going down in the waiting room. They finally get to the back to where we had. They get to questioning the motherfucking shit. Like, I know it was the 60s that was up here, this, and that. I'm like, man, I don't know shit, man. I don't know nothing, homie. You know what I'm saying? They showing me pictures and shit of motherfuckers. I'm like, man, I don't know shit, man. I'm alive. I don't give a fuck. I don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they mad and shit. They like, whatever. They wind up transporting us out of there. through the back of that motherfucker, sending motherfuckers out to USC and different shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It wound up closing that hospital down for that, for like that whole night. Damn near, they was taking motherfuckers, but not nobody shot and all that old shit, homie. But yeah, that's my story. Getting shot with Big Taco from my hood the same night, man. That's tension rose in the street amongst us in the rolling 60s, homie. You know.